Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Swagman XC2 two-bike platform rack here on our 2020 Nissan Murano. Now right out of the gate, the Swagman is going to be a great kind of entry-level bike rack to bike riding. As you guys can see, not going to be anything kind of too crazy on this guy. I don't have a lot of the bells and whistles that you might see on some of the more premium items. However, it is going to do a great job of just getting our bikes to where we want to go without having to break the bank to do so. You will notice we do have just a slight little platform style carrier here today. Right out of the gate though, we are having frame contact. So in the middle here is our only securance actually on our bikes, which is on our frame. So that means we're putting a lot of downward pressure on these frames. So if you're looking at a way of getting those carbon frame bikes to the trails with you, unfortunately not going to be an option, as this will end up deteriorating and warping those carbon frame bikes. Now a lot of issues sometimes you might find with these kind of single mount systems here is you might have a little bit of an issue kind of collapsing onto our frames on here today. However, as you can see how low we can actually get with this guy, this makes it a very versatile system. Even with it being, more on the lower end on the spectrum, we still are getting a lot of versatility. Not only are we going to have a lot of varying height requirements, so if we had a very tall bike, it's going to latch on fine. A very short bike too, it is going to latch on quite easily. And on the sides as well, or these cradles I should say, these are very easily adjustable. So these wheel hoops can be moved regardless of what the kind of position is. So you might want to watch though. Can be a little hard to kind of navigate these guys around. I just recommend kind of getting both your bikes up on here, seeing where you want those wheel hoops to be. But nice that we can swap this around. Maybe we have a different couple of people come with us to the trails. Nice that we go ahead and get a little bit more versatility, especially for where the bike is at, in my opinion. Now the bike's only really being held on, as we mentioned, by these adjustable arm cradles here. So to release these, all we have to do is press in on that lever. As you can see, that's going to go ahead and release that arm. To cinch it down, we just simply push on it. Again, be careful of those carbon frames. As you guys can see, a lot of pressure being put on that frame. But to take it off, we just simply want to remove it. I like to just hang them all the way at the end. That way they're out of my way. And then I can gently walk my bike off. I really do like how easy this guy is to use as well. Not going to cause us any issues getting on and off, as you guys can see. And then I can go ahead and just re-add my arms like so. You can see how good of a job they do of ratcheting in there. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, we definitely are adding a little bit of length here. So since we don't actually have a way of condensing it down, I want to just go ahead and get us that right out of the gate. Take it from the rear of the bumper here to the end. Looks like our cradles are going to be our furthest point. So I'm going to go ahead, go from the end here to the end of the cradle. Puts us right at 17.5 inches at max. Yep, right there, even with that cradle. So definitely being a little length to consider. Definitely not going to be too much, though. You can kind of see we do sit pretty close to the Murano there. Not going to be too much of an issue with that being too extended. I think, again, we can probably work with that. Not going to be too much length to be considered for those tight parking places. Shouldn't have too much of a time with the garage, too, of getting out. But I think that's where this guy really starts excelling. As you guys see, we are going to be able to condense this in a lot of different ways, which can make it really easy to pull off and store. But we definitely want to access the back of our Nissan here. However, we can't do it in its current position as this mast is right in our way. We do have a way of dropping that down really quickly. On the inside here, we're going to see just these little pins that are actually doing a great job of holding all the system together. All we have to do, give it the right amount of movement. That little ball is going to go ahead, pinch itself inside, and allow our mast to drop down. For today, I'm going to go ahead and just stick it over on that end, allowing that to dangle. And as you can see, now I can grab in here, open up this hatch, and get full access to the back of my vehicle. Now you will kind of notice you have a little bit of room here with those wheel mounts kind of right in your way. Unfortunately with that mast, it does make it hard to kind of fold these up all the way. So you are kind of stuck working with this. Not a lot of great purchase. So if you have anything very crazy heavy, might not be that great at getting out. But in here I can reach for the coolers, bike helmets, anything else I might need. Very quick and easy to actually grab it, especially if we're leaving this on to get some groceries or anything. Nice that we actually have access to that back. We're not limited by this rack on the back of our vehicle. But talking about condensing, we can go ahead and bring this guy back up. I want to give us a quick little look at how it sits when it's folded up. Another pretty big clearance issue that we might have, though, is just this normal position when it's hanging here. So I'm going to go ahead and just give us our clearance while our arms are actually still up. So I think our cradles are sitting a little bit above our post. So I want to go from the bottom of our post here. Not going to be too far from the rear of our vehicle. But as you can see, it's 16.5 inches, maybe a 1/16 above that. It's about 16 9/16 to the top there from the ground. Definitely going to be a pretty good clearance for us, especially with that rise in the shank. I don't think we're going to have any issues. Just be careful. As those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will our hitch-mounted accessories. But as long as we're being crazy and not doing any off-roading, which I definitely wouldn't recommend with only the single-point system here, I think we'll be sitting pretty, not going to have too many issues. But talking about collapsing, I think where the Swagman really starts excelling is how lightweight and easy it is to condense. And what that makes it great for, if we are apartment living, a lot of us have a lot of limited room, so it can be nice that we actually have a way of storing our bike rack quickly and easily for ourselves. You can see how much this actually condenses itself down. Not going to be anywhere near close to our vehicle at all. Definitely saving down a lot of that space. And one thing that's great about it too is this shank can actually be removed from the internal assembly there with just a little spring clip and pin. So it makes it really nice of how much we can shorten this down. Not going to be taking up any space in the garage or even a closet maybe if we do have an apartment and don't have a way to store it. Can also easily store in our vehicle, as you can see. So I think that's where this guy really starts shining of its kind of like collapsibility on this guy. Moving our way down the shank, though, you will see we have an 1.25 inch shank here. Now, we do have a 2-inch sleeve adapter, allowing us to use our 2-inch hitches today. And again, that's where that little bit of versatility really starts shining through. I wouldn't sleep on this guy. He offers us a lot of stuff, especially for the great price he's at. And on the inside, too, you will notice we have that threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt. Now, they're pretty standard across the industry, but as you see, I'm shaking this. That's bringing this entire carrier in line with our vehicle, making for a nice, smooth ride for ourselves, our bike rack, but especially our bikes as they sit on there. And I think that can really help. We saw that we only had that single post in the middle actually holding our bike there. So anything we can do to reduce that play is really going to be helpful. So let's make sure we are tightening that down nice and tight. That way our bikes have a smooth platform for us to ride. Well, I think the Swagman XC2 does a great job, as we mentioned, of just getting our bikes to the trail. Again, no bells and whistles, but I mean, really, do we need it if all we're doing is going out on the weekends, just trying to have a nice time riding? Couple things, though, I definitely keep in mind. As you probably noticed, no security element here. So if we really did want to, we would probably have to pick up a separate hitch lock and cable lock core set to actually make this nice and secured. I would recommend maybe picking up a hitch lock if you want to, but definitely just maybe like a cable lock would go a long way of just making sure that, keeping honest people honest, that kind of thing. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the Swagman XC2 2-bike platform rack here on our 2020 Nissan Murano. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then, onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. Last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway.